So, as within, so without. You've heard me say it a bunch of times. What we are frequencing like inside us is exactly what we create outside us. It's the law of reflection, another video I have, the mirroring effect, call it what you want. And we're waking up to this, many of us, which is awesome. We're starting to finally wake up to it. Another example of it, I was just reading an article this morning on fires, the Western wildfires. We're having many more wildfires. They call it fire season. And I remember early in this year in May, seeing the Fire Prevention or Suppression Center in Boise, Idaho, declaring their opening of fire season. And when you do that, you're actually inviting it. You're actually focusing on it and expecting it. What you expect is what you actually get. So when you expect there to be fires, that's what you get. But also, there's real life situations here, which is basically for 50 or 100 years in America, in the US, we've suppressed fires. This suppression, we suppress. This outer suppression is just a reflection, like the law of reflection, as within, so without, of our inner suppression, which is basically we suppress everything. We suppress our emotions. We don't teach our kids, how to feel your emotions 101, how to express your heart, how to express uncomfortable emotions, how to resolve your anger without going ballistic, this type of stuff. We don't teach our kids this. We don't think it's important. So we have this suppressive model of civilization, whether that takes the form of internal suppression of our own emotions, our own real emotions, energy in motion, it's meant to be in motion, or we suppress wildfires. We suppress everything. Suppressants, antibiotics, suppress the bio, SSRIs, they're depressants. Alcohol is a depressant. We depress the life force. So this shows up now as we're going to have 10 million acres a year, they predict, burnt as fires because we've suppressed the fires. The natives did not do this. They would actually set fires. They would never live up on mountaintops where the big trees were because they know that the fire moves upwards, right? So they would actually set the fires. One good study, the Stanislav Forest study, I forget what it is, you could look it up, I might put a link to it, where they study mountain forests in Mexico and California, similar climate, the desert climates, and the higher mountains have the forests on them. The Mexican fires burn 1/6. They burn out 6 times faster, meaning they get done much quicker. Why? Because Mexico has never spent money on suppressing the wildfires. They just let them do their thing. So their fires are a lot less dangerous. When you create all that little kindling and underneath, and you let all the little trees be there, it just destroys the whole thing. Otherwise, when a normal fire would just either burn the grasslands or burn the stuff that needs to be burned off every year. So again, nature knows what she's doing. Leave her alone as much as possible, But if you suppress for 50 years natural fires, doesn't it just make sense that the giant fire is going to come? And so that's what's going on right now. All that in our infernal, eternal infernal wisdom, we think we know what we're doing by suppressing the fire. So if you suppress your own Kundalini fire, which is the model for our society, for our civilization, we suppress the natural instincts that we have, right? And then the reflection of that is we suppress everything else around us. And then the wake-up call, when nature rebalances her, who's going to win? The Boulder Dam, right? Or the Colorado River? Will the Boulder Dam be there 1,000 years from now? Of course not. One earthquake, that thing's a goner, right? Our only choice is to align with the Tao, to find ways to work with Mother Nature. Working against her, thinking, here I am in California, I'm in San Diego Harbor at the moment, looking across the Coronado in downtown San Diego there. If we suppress, here, the earthquakes, what are you going to do? If there's a giant oak tree in the hills of California, the earthquake comes, it just sways and goes. It's probably a nice ride for the oak tree. Stealing glass buildings, not such a good idea. Even if you're the Japanese with magnetic floating and it can slide 12 feet back and forth, it's still a dumb idea. Build that which goes with the Tao, with the flow. So the wake-up calls come in the form of giant wildfires, earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, because we're not working with the flow. Native Americans in North America would actually sometimes set fires as well. But if you're doing that from a shamanic perspective, you would actually be told by spirit, set this grassland on fire. We can be natural agents. The difference is, are you connected to nature, to that which is natural? Or are you worshiping some revelation, visionary God that tells you to dominate nature? You cannot dominate nature. Nature will spank your ass. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. You can't do it. So why are we trying? Let's realign with that which is natural inside us. Natural emotions. Move your emotions, emotions. And again, this is a huge step now. So I'm walking here this morning. Everybody I meet, I have to say, they're incredibly suppressed, shut down as humans. We're all terrified, shut down, damaged humans walking around. If I'm in the elevator and I start just saying stuff, people can really like it. God bless Robin Williams. Look at him. Now, he could channel that stuff. Spontaneous fun on the spot. But that's still the large, large exception that people can tap into that. And for those few that are the lightning rods for the collective, like a Robin Williams or whoever, Elvis, Michael Jackson, they have a difficult time surviving in this suppressed collective. You can do your part by starting. Now it's going to be opening Pandora's box, but starting to go, how do I really feel? So many people right now, they don't even know what feelings are anymore. They have no idea. I say, how do you feel about that? And they just go, it's in their heads. They just talk about what they think about it. No. How do you feel about it? You know, The Longest Journey in the World is that, not the new Steven Spielberg, Oprah Winfrey movie, the long, 100 yards across the street for the French restaurant, but that's hinting at it. The longest journey is from this down to this. How do you feel? And then even farther down to the belly. What are you feeling in your solar plexus? That's the only way, and it's in the heart and the solar plexus as they give information, including this. No chakras against each other. A house divided cannot survive. So it's not about dividing the human being into mentalism versus heartism or intuitionism. No, it's about the full spectrum human. Doing this on an individual basis, because you're not going to see it on CNN or Sky News. They're not going to tell you about this. Maybe another 10 years it'll start happening, but not right now. That's what's going to help heal the planet, one individual at a time. So as within, so without. The law of reflection, the mirroring effect. I might have coined that term, the law of reflection, right? It's an older video. Who cares? It's all collective. We're all tapping into the collective. Nobody owns anything. It's all gods. It's all sources. You starting to move your naturalness, your Tao in you, will help prevent forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires.